Hello guys! Welcome to a new video. Do you suck at Beyblade boss rivals? Maybe because you are a new player or you are a hacker. I mean, let's be honest, those people are just terrible in this game. I mean, imagine needing to hack in a phone game. That's just sad. But anyways, maybe you are not a good player, maybe because, as I said, you're new in the game, or there's any other reason you are bad, then this video might help you, because today we are going to look at the current Beyblade boss rivals meta. So I don't know if you are familiar with the word meta. Just in case you aren't, a meta describes the base that are currently used by those who try to play on a competitive level, meaning by the people who try to be the best in the game. So basically, the meta tells you which base are currently used, and those base are basically the best base in the game. For this video, we will look what kind of meta we have, what kind of strategy is dominating, what base you can use for the strategy, what base you shouldn't use for the strategy, and of course we will look at possibilities to counter the current meta. But before we do that, let's just quickly open the avatar crystal I got from the, I forgot the name, pass. Okay, Shining Stamina avatar crystal, nothing special, but it's something. Okay, a Zillion Zutron avatar, 4 star. I think I already have it in 4 stars. Okay then, back to the topic. So the current meta is a glass cannon meta. But what does that mean? So a glass cannon meta, well, glass cannons are dominating the game. What is a glass cannon, you ask? Well, a glass cannon, it's Beyblade that tries to take the opponent's Bey down with a single hit or a single turn. So basically you try to instantly destroy the opponent's Bey. However, it's called glass cannon, you know, glass is very fragile, because the Bey itself is normally very fragile, so if the one-shot strategy does not work, you're most likely gonna lose, because the opponent will completely destroy you. So right now everyone is playing glass cannons, because glass cannons, they are really great, because the strategy normally works. I mean, most people play glass cannons, and glass cannons are excellent counters against glass cannons. However, they are also weak against glass cannons, so I guess glass cannons do not have a huge advantage against themselves. First of all, something very important, a type of Bey that you shouldn't use in this current meta are stamina types, because stamina types are currently at a huge disadvantage. I mean, a stamina type, it just cannot do anything in this meta. I mean, stamina types try to endure the opponent's attacks while draining its stamina. However, the battles do not last long. I mean, every Bey tries to finish the other one with a single hit, so Beys tend to deal huge damage, which means that the battles do not last long. So stamina battles won't work. Not only that, but you know, there are 2 types of glass cannons. Burst glass cannons, which try to score a burst finish, and stability glass cannons that try to score a ring out finish, or maybe even a ring out burst. And stamina types do not have any advantages against one of those 2. I mean, they are weak against attack types. Because of the type disadvantage, they take extra damage, and although they have an advantage against defense types, it's not worth it, because most people are playing attack or balance types, and then you are most likely gonna lose with a stamina type. So if you have any stamina type, you shouldn't use it. It's just a bad idea. Let's take a closer look at burst glass cannons. So for this, we will take a look at a Beyblade that performs very well as a burst glass cannon, and then we will look at a Beyblade that does not perform good as a burst glass cannon. Okay then, so the Beyblade we're starting with is this one, Xeno Excalious Gold. I mean, this Beyblade is just made for this meta. It's just a perfect glass cannon. I mean, at first we have the gold buff from the gold recolor, which means the Beyblade has increased stamina charge and increased technique charge. And the increased technique charge can be a huge help, because normally you also try to get your special technique at the beginning of the battle, which is very important for a glass cannon. So his special is the Saber Strike, deal immediate burst damage to opponent and gain a 300% damage multiplier for 1 round. So basically you deal damage and then the opponent is most likely gonna lose because of the huge damage buff. The only way to counter this is basically building up lots and lots of burst resistance and hoping that you will endure this, but I don't think that many bays can withstand Saber Strike. So the buffs are also really useful. Mainly we have decreased burst resistance for the opponent. We also have decreased knockback resistance, which is not too useful. But this bay, I think it can also give decreased burst damage to itself, which is also really useful. It has low burst health, but I think burst health doesn't matter on a glass cannon too much. So yeah, Xeno Excalious Gold is a very good glass cannon, and well, if you do not know what you should use, then I can recommend Excalious to you. It's a very great Beyblade in this meta. Now let's take a look at a bay that does not perform very great in this meta, which is Wonder Valtryek. I think some people already guessed it. I mean, Wonder Valtryek is just a terrible Beyblade. It's just... you do not want it. It can't do anything. Like, it's terrible. So here's its special, Wonder Flash Launch. Deal immediate burst damage proportional to the amount of burst and stability damage taken by Wonder Valtryek this round. So that's the thing. You cannot use the special if you go first. I mean, you can use it, but it won't do anything. The damage output of the special is depending on how many damage you have taken this round. Meaning, you must go second. And then you are most likely to get bursted by the opponent's bay. Oh, I don't have any buffs for this bay. Let's get some actually. Increased stability damage, that's not really useful. Let's get another one. Increased burst damage resistance for the opponent, that's actually nice, but the special makes this bay so bad that it should never be used in competitive play. I mean, it's literally something you do not want in this meta, because going second is a terrible idea. So yeah, if you don't know which bay you should not use, then now you know it. So now we are gonna look at the stability glass cannons, and we will start with this bay, Nightmare Linor, which is a really nice stability glass cannon. So Nightmare Linor special, the Dragon Crash, deal immediate burst damage to opponent, and for the next few rounds, all of your bay tiles deal stability damage to opponent. Status duration is based on Nightmare Linor's level. So basically, after you dealt some burst damage, all of your tiles deal stability damage, which is similar to Judgment Joker's special, except the parts where the bay gets very vulnerable. So you're most likely to definitely land a ring out finish. I also realized I do not have any buffs, so let's get at least one. Decreased stamina drain, okay, that's not too nice. So I do not know about the other buffs, but Nightmare Linor, it's used very often, as far as I know, because of the special. The special is just wonderful. It deals so much damage that you are most likely to win the battle, as long as you go first, of course. So now let's look at a stability cannon that's not too great. Now this is an example of a Beyblade that you should probably not use it as a stability glass cannon. Lost Linor, or this is the ice version to be correct. The special Lost Spiral, deal burst damage to opponent with the chance to deal a double knockback. The chance. So you can deal a double knockback, which means that if you matched enough stability tiles and maybe you even have a decreased knockback resistance buff, I'm actually not sure if this Bay has a buff like that, you can ring out finish your opponent. However, you're kinda playing with luck there because it only has a chance to deal double knockback. So if this doesn't work, then you're most likely screwed. Maybe you can deal enough damage to the opponent, but I think you're really playing with luck there. I do not have any buffs. Then let's look at this one. My gold Linor. Increased technique charge after activation, burst damage. Okay, so maybe you can score burst finish, so it would actually make more sense to use this as a burst cannon. But if it's used as a stability glass cannon, then it wouldn't perform too well. So there's actually no reason to do that. Okay guys, now let's look at an avatar that should be used with those bays, being the Xeno Excalious avatar. And well, why does it work so good? Because the Xeno Excalious avatar, it has a great tile board. It has the blast tile, which is a very great special avatar tile, and it matches a lot of tiles, meaning you also spawn a lot of time tiles, and more time tiles means that you are more likely to go first, which is really important in this meta. So Xeno Excalious, it works with every Beyblade, so you can use it on any Bay, doesn't matter, because it's a great avatar. So just use this avatar on every Bay and you are fine. You can also use Batromoth, as far as I know. I'm not too sure about that. I mean, it has Blast Tile and Rocket Cross, and the board is a little worse, I think. I mean, it's okay, I guess. So you can also use Behemoth or Batromoth. It should work as well. But Excalious is your first choice. Okay then, so what blader should you use? For a burst glass cannon, you can use Red Eye, because Red Eye has a buff that gives increased burst damage, and she can also give you technique charge at the beginning of the battle. So both buffs are really great, so Red Eye can be a really great choice for a burst glass cannon. Now for a stability glass cannon, Wakia can be a great choice because he can give you an epic damage multiplier for stability attacks, and he can also be good for defense type because he can also give you an epic resistance to damage. And that's where we come to counter possibilities. So even a glass cannon can be countered by a strategy. This strategy is a defense type that just tanks everything, and the perfect choice for that is Atlas and Nubian Gold. So first of all, we have the gold Bay buff, meaning he has increased stamina charge and increased technique charge, which is really great. The special, the perfect circle, you gain stamina and you have an increased resistance to damage for the next 3 opponent attacks. So you gain a resistance to damage, which is really great, and also very good if you combine it with Wakia. Not only that, you even have increased stability damage, so this Bay can technically tank the opponent's hits while knocking the opponent back, and he has increased knockback resistance, which is also really great because you can counter a stability glass cannon. And as far as I know, the resistance from the special can be stacked, so you can reduce the opponent's attacks to a minimum. What's also a really great idea is combining him with Gabe, because Gabe has the Citadel boost, which makes you immune to burst damage. So basically your opponent cannot damage you. But if you combine that with the increased knockback resistance, you basically cannot lose for a round. That's really great. So basically Atlas and Nubian is a very great choice to counter a glass cannon. There are also plenty of other defense types, like Wyvern. Here we have him, Wyvern, because he can reflect attacks. However, that only works if you go first, of course. So it's also really important to go first. That's why you should use the Xeno Excalious avatar. And of course we are going to look at a Beyblade that does not perform too great as a defense type, and that is Dread Phoenix. Dread Phoenix, I tested it myself when it came out and it's just terrible. I mean, the special, you deal burst and stability damage and you take increased damage for the next few rounds. So if I got that right, you take increased damage. I'm not sure if that means that you are a bit resistant to damage, or does it mean that you receive more damage? I'm not too sure myself, but it doesn't matter anyways, because this Bey only has 85k burst health, which is extremely low, so you're very vulnerable when using this Bey, and also immediate burst and stability damage is also not great. And the buffs: the opponent Bey has increased chance to burst when knocked out of the stadium, recovers burst health, increased technique charge after actuation. Yeah, that's not great. Terrible buffs. So this is basically a Beyblade that you should not use as a defense type, because it is a terrible Bey. Throw it away. Okay guys, that's it for today's video. So I hope that I could help you with this little overview of the meta. If you have any further questions, then please ask them in the comments. And if any of the information I gave you is wrong, then please tell me, because I don't want to spread false information. So please let me know, just in case. Okay guys, that's it for today's Rivals video. Please tell me in the comments if you enjoyed, I would really appreciate that. And yeah, that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed, then leave a like, subscribe to the channel to support me, and activate the bell so you always get a notification when I upload a video. Okay then, see you in the next video. Bye guys!